Hello all, I'm Rika Soni, and I, on behalf of Agoda and everyone who work on Codegoda, welcome you to the Codegoda 2021 award ceremony. We are super excited to have you with us today. In the 5 hours of Codegoda, you would have gone through various emotions, sometimes euphoria because your solution was correct, and other time confusion or frustration because it took you more than one attempt to get it right. Now, all of it, we are sure, would have taught you a bit more about your programming skills, where you are good at, and some area where you may need improvement. In the end, that's also one of the core goals of Codegoda. We want to help programmers like you challenge yourself and understand your strength better. We had 12,642 of you participate from 83 countries. That's massive, and we want to congratulate all of you for participating. Now, let us tell you a bit more about who we are. So hang tight and let's kick off the final leg of Code Goda 2021. Let's hear from Yaron, our CTO.
Hi everyone, I'm Yaron Zaidman and I'm the CTO of Agoda. I'd like to congratulate each one of you for the dedication and efforts toward Codegoda. I sincerely hope that you enjoyed working with the problems as much as the team and us were enjoying organizing them for you. I'd like to start by talking about a few facts about Agoda. As a tech company, we use technology heavily in order to innovate about the way people travel. I'll touch a few points. First one is a culture of experiment. We like to do A/B testing for everything we do, and what we mean by A/B testing, that every feature we launch for half of the people, and the other half we see the old experience, and we'll measure what's the result of that. At every given moment, we have more than 1,000 experiments running on our website, and at every given visit, each one of you, when you come to Agoda website, you will see more than 100 experiments running. What we mean by experiments is, the hero photo, the first photos that you see in a hotel, the rankings, the listing, personalizations, picture recommendation, and so on and on. Basically, every feature that we develop. The culture of Agoda is that we adopt a very strong test and measure culture. We like to move very fast, try a lot of things, and if it works, we will keep investing in them. And if it fails, nothing happened, we'll fail fast and we'll move on. Another area that we put a lot of focus on is AI and machine learning. We realize that AI and machine learning is a big differentiator, and we think that we are leaders in the travel in that area, and we'll keep investing in order to keep the leadership and even increase the leadership in this area. Few more areas to touch. I'm really, really proud of the way we scale and the efficiency and the way we handle the data. Today, we handle more than 1 trillion messages of Kafka every day, and we store tons of data, basically more than 10 petabytes compressed of data in Agoda. And the other area of it is how we do it. We build our own private cloud, which is very, very efficient, much more efficient than the public cloud infrastructure. In fact, it costs somewhere between a third to a half of the public cloud, while we use the public cloud as well in order to, to be in front of the things and to learn what we want to add to our private clouds. Other last point that I'll touch about our culture is that we like to use open source. We use it quite a lot. We really like to have a deep understanding of the technology we're using, and we are passionate about what we do and the culture of ownership. Few more general points about Agoda. We have more than 4,000 employees today. We are very diversified, and we have more than 80 nationalities. Our tech department really grown a lot since I joined. When I joined, we had less than 100 people in tech, and now we have more than 1,200 just in a few years. And proportionally, we scaled our traffic and business and so on. We have also offices around the world. And just recently, we opened the India Development Center in order to cover geographically better. At the same time, we relocate people to our Bangkok office and to the Singapore office. If you really want to do one of your life best works, please come and join Agoda Tech Team. Thank you all for joining Codegoda, and I really want to congratulate the winners. Good luck, guys.
Thanks, Yaron. Visit careers at agoda.com to check our open roles in our tech team. Now we will have Idan Saxberg, our VP of Data Engineering, walk you through a Codegoda problem.
Hello everyone, my name is Dan Salzberg and I'm the VP of Data at Agoda. Thank you all for joining the Codegoda competition, and thank you for joining me today. Today I'll be showing one of the problems we had in the competition and how I would go around solving it. So let's start. The problem I chose is the find the best hotel. And the reason I chose this one is twofold. First of all, it was one of the more difficult problems, and secondly, I think it's a good example of a problem that combines the correctness issue of getting everything correct, but also it's about using minimalistic data structures and just keeping the data you need, so you can also finish the problem within the memory constraints. So to start, I'll explain a bit about the problem statement. So in this problem we are given n cities, and we are given n-1 roads connecting between them. We also know there's a gas cost to travel between each city. In every city we are also given a list of hotels with some given daily cost. What we are trying to find is for every tourist that comes to a certain city, what would be the cheapest hotel in that city. Let's look at one example to make it clear. So let's say city 1 has hotel 1 that has $10 cost and hotel 2 with $18 cost. And in city 2, we have hotel X that costs $18. So then let's say also the distance between city 1 to city 2 is 2 kilometers and the cost per kilometer is $2. So if we have a tourist coming to city 1, they would go to hotel 1 because it is the cheapest. However, if a tourist comes to city 2, they also go to hotel 1 because they can pay $10 for the hotel plus $4 to get there because of the 2-kilometer distance and the cost per kilometer. Meaning overall they would pay $14, which is better than their local option of $18. So let's see something interesting already. Actually, when we look at city 1, hotel 2 never plays any important role because hotel 1 will always defeat hotel 2. So actually we don't need to keep hotel 2 in the picture. Secondly, when we look at city 2, we don't actually need to remember hotel X. Instead, we need to remember that we can get to hotel 1 with an overall cost of $14. And that is the concept of our solution. Instead of maintaining the actual list of hotels, we will just try to maintain the winning hotel and the cost of that hotel from the given city for every city. So let's go over the actual code. So first of all, just to get rid of some of the boilerplate, we start with our main function and we read the input of the city count and the gas count from the command input. And then later on, we will be reading the lines with the city connectivity. And for each one of those, we'll call the add city connection with the source city, target city, and destination and distance, sorry. And we will also read how many orders we have. And we'll be reading the number of orders. And then for each order, we can look at the hotel commands that asks us to register a hotel with a certain name in a certain city with a certain cost, and getting the best hotel for a certain city. So this is just a boilerplate of going through the input and calling the right functions. The interesting part is how we implemented those functions. So let's go into that. First of all, we'll use two data structures. First of all, the simpler one is just maintaining the city connections. This is what we call cities here. And it's basically an array because cities are just 1 to n. So by doing -1, I just make it 0 to n-1, and I can just use it as an index of array. So the index is the city source. And the target will have a list of connections where each connection is a tuple of target city and the travel cost to that city. We don't really need to remember the distance and the gas cost because all we care about is the multiplication of both. So we call it the travel cost. Second data structure we need is the city best hotel. This is the important one. This is where we keep for each city just the hotel that is best for that city by name and the cost from that city to that hotel. Again, to remind you, in our simple example, we had hotel 1 that was $10 from city 1, and in city 2 we also had hotel 1 that is actually located in city 1, but here it is with a cost of $14. So this is what we're trying to imitate in our data structure. So now all we need is to implement those functions that we process through the input. And the important thing is to, in every point in time, we store only the data we need. So we don't keep any data structure that we don't need for the future. So let's start with the simple one, add city connection. Here, what do? We basically say there's a source target distance, so we just append to the connections of the source a connection to the target, and because the connections are symmetrical, we also need to add to the connection of the target the source with the same distance, with the same travel cost, which is effectively the distance times the gas cost. Secondly, we have the get best hotel, which is actually trivial because since we already have a data structure that gives us the best hotel for each city, all we have to do is pop it out from that data structure and then just format it in the right format that the question requested us to do. So really all the interesting stuff is to register the city. So let's talk about this one. So the start is very simple. Always say that, look, if we don't have already a best hotel for the city, or the best hotel we have right now, the cost for it, the overall cost for it, which includes travel, is bigger than the cost that is given now to us, then we should replace the best hotel with the hotel we were giving. Now the interesting bit happens now because we are actually propagating the change. So now what we are going is we're going for all the connections of this city, we're trying to propagate out, and for each one of those next cities and travel cost, we will try to update the hotel. Sorry, this function is wrongly named. We'll try to register the hotel in that city accordingly. So we'll pass the same hotel to that next city, but now instead of passing in the cost, we'll pass the cost plus travel cost, because that will be the effective cost from that city to our given hotel. Now, you might concern that this recursion might actually go on forever, but it won't, because all of this here is happening only when this condition is applied. So once the cost becomes too great, it cannot beat the current best hotel of the city, the recursion actually stops. Now this implementation is correct, but it is not advised, because to do recursion on such big amount, like let's say 50,000 cities, we'll probably get a Stack Overflow. So instead, we will remove this solution and we'll do effectively the same solution using a stack. So this time, we initialize the stack with the city and the cost, and then as long as the stack is not empty, we just pop something out and do the same condition as before. The only difference now is that when we propagate the change, instead of calling a recursion function, we just append another call to the stack, this time with the next city and the cost plus travel cost. So this is totally identical to the recursion. It's a bit harder to read, and that's why I had wanted to show you guys the two options. But this one is much more scalable because recursion doesn't really work in big numbers. Okay, so now we have basically implemented all the functions that we had to implement, and all we have to do is let it run, and let's see what we get. So I made another file here, file F. This has the inputs of the example, and we can just run it here, and we see that we got two hotels out. The Agoda test hotel 1 for the first query after we got registered only one hotel, and then when we got the other hotel in, we got it registered, and you can see the cost includes the travel distance for these hotels as the problem example asked us to do. So that's it. That's the solution that we implemented. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to tell you that we will show all the solutions for all the problems in our tech blog of Agoda and also on our codegoda.io website. And next, I'm very excited to show you the list of winners.
Thanks, Idan, for walking through the problem. Now, let's see who the winners are of Codegoda 2021. To announce the winners, we have Idan again, along with Max, who is the AVP of Frontend and Apps at Agoda. So let's get started.
So thank you, Rika. And one note before we announce the winners. So as developers, you know, you can't have a project without bugs, and unfortunately, this one is no different. So some of you have noticed that our question 4 the best hotel, actually had an issue with one of the test cases, and hence it was impossible to get the perfect score there. So please rest assured that we reran your solutions with the correct test cases and we adjusted the ranking accordingly.
Thanks, Idan. Quality is so important yet so challenging. But let's focus on the real reason we're here, the winners. I'm happy to announce 10th, 9th, and 8th places. Big congratulations to all of you. You all achieved impressive score of 89 and therefore you won $250.
Now, before we move to the rest, we want to announce the special prize of the top woman coder of Codegoda 2021. And that prize goes to Felicia from Indonesia. Congratulations on winning 500 USD.
Now let's see our top winners. Places 7 to 2nd all got same score of 91. Well done. But there is one guy that beat you all with a whopping score of 98. Rico Filberto, also from Indonesia, by the way. Amazing job, Rico. Congratulations on winning Codegoda 2021. We know it was not easy at all.
So congratulations to all our top winners. And now, as you know, our first place prize is 3,500 USD. However, since we realized that the issue with question 4 might have taken some valuable time from you, and that is a bit unfair, we decided to award all our top 7 with the grand prize of $3,500 each. Big congratulations on winning Codegoda 2021.
Now, last but not the least, congratulations to all of the top 100 programmers. All of you won a brand new Codegoda t-shirt. The full list of winners is now live on Codegoda.io. It's time to wrap up. Thanks everyone for participating. I know it's extremely challenging to solve such problems fast, but you guys are awesome and you nailed it. If you enjoy getting money for hard coding challenges, why not apply to Agoda? Trust me, we have more than enough of them for you, and it would be awesome to smash them together. Thanks again for joining, and good luck, everyone. We hope to meet some of you face-to-face in the future.